if you will, with that brine treatment, which I think is pretty smart, seeing as though we're still trying to figure out what these temperatures are going to do when you talk about freezing levels.
Exactly right, Courtney. I mean, it's 1 or 2 degrees makes all the difference, and we are still at freezing here in Augusta, so that's the thing. The danger on the roadways does continue anywhere along I-20 and especially north of that. This is from our Wheeler Road camera looking towards 520 and I-20, but wanted to show you these pine trees right here. They're definitely ice-coated, sagging a little bit, and we haven't necessarily seen a ton of power outages, thankfully, today, but as we continue to add on the potential for more ice this evening and tonight, cannot rule out maybe some isolated outages out there. Right now we're still at 32 degrees, so that's straight from Bush Field, so we've been at freezing all day long here in Augusta, and it has led to scenes like this. This was actually from a Georgia DOT camera in Thompson off Whitewater Road and Harrison Road. This was starting around 8-9 a.m. it looked like that, but this is the big concern why we've really been highlighting stay off the roadways if you can. This morning we actually had a multi-car pile up on I-20 westbound between Riverwatch Parkway and Washington Road. So I believe this was from Mr. Will Rio out there driving around earlier. You can see the coating of ice. This is a magnolia tree sent in from some of our viewers. A beautiful picture of some snow over in Thompson sent in by Miss Kathy Buffington. Nice look from Barnwell there as well. So we had a nice little winter wonderland to start off with, some big snowflakes falling, but then it really transitioned to mainly just sleet and freezing rain. That's what's expected to continue into this afternoon, evening, the rest of tonight, at least through around 1 a.m. This main low pressure is going to track just off towards our south and east. Now, one thing we are noticing is that there is a transition mainly to just plain cold rain in most of the southern and western CSRA. The National Weather Service up in Atlanta has actually eliminated a lot of winter weather advisories for many of our counties in the western CSRA, so good news to report there. For us here still around Augusta, it's still a wintry mix out there, so make sure you're just taking those precautions and staying off the roadways if you can. We still have winter storm warnings highlighted in pink, so that does include McDuffie, Columbia, Richmond, Aiken County, also in the northern CSRA, Edgefield, Saluda, Lincoln, McCormick, Washington, or Wilkes and Tolliver County. Those are going to stay in effect until 4 a.m. Saturday morning, so remember, up until that time frame, just treat it like temps are near freezing and off the roadways. Our first alert does continue through that time frame as well, highlighted for all these counties right here. So that's where we're worrying about those totals tallying up to creating maybe some isolated outages and definitely dangerous roadways too. Some other temperatures across the area you can see from Thompson all the way to Aiken, we are freezing or below. Even at Daniel Field. Daniel Field briefly went up to 34 an hour ago. Now it's back down to 32 degrees. So once again, very dangerous road conditions. Any of these areas and anywhere north of those areas as well. So just be mindful of that. Now, once we continue into this evening and tonight, I would imagine once we get into the overnight, this area of low pressure gets a little bit closer. You can see our wind direction changes out of the southeast, and that should help us warm up potentially above freezing as we get into a little bit later into tonight. So keep your fingers crossed that does happen. Until we get there, though, we're going to have this precipitation falling as a wintry mix, some sleet, freezing rain. Not expecting necessarily a ton of snow to mix in, but definitely some ice pellets, and this precipitation will be able to freeze on contact as long as those temperatures are 32 or lower. I believe once we get to around 1 a.m., most of this is out of here, but take a look at the temperatures as this precipitation does fall this evening. Northern counties still holding near freezing. We'll be right near freezing. Same thing in Thompson, Augusta, and Aiken, but anywhere south of that does warm up a good bit. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up with cloud cover. Temps will be in the 30s, potentially still close to freezing, but remember the winter storm warning only goes in effect until 4 a.m. So the Weather Service, I think, has a little bit higher confidence that these temperatures will be above freezing by that time frame. Throughout the day tomorrow, sunshine. It is going to be pretty windy out there tomorrow behind this system. That'll keep our high temps below average through Sunday. But once we get through with this wintry mix tonight, we are mostly dry for the next 7 days.
All right. Thanks so much, Riley. And as you all probably know by now,